This is Monocle on Design Extra. It's a short show to accompany our weekly programme where we discuss everything from architecture and craft to furniture and graphic design. I'm Maylie Evans. Today we head to Oxford Street in London, where the Swedish homeware and furniture giant Ikea have opened their newest retail store. Spanning 3 floors, this bricks and mortar store hopes to reflect the home of its customers living in the UK capital, with smaller showroom spaces and an emphasis on portable furniture and items that can be easily transported on public transport. Monocle's Emma Nelson went along to find out more.
Those curtains are looking tired. Decorations are tired. Look, your style is fired. It's like somebody hit you with a bulldozer. But if your house was a car, it would get pulled over.
Standing here in the centre of London's busiest shopping street, you'd be forgiven for thinking that Londoners' flats were totally empty and that this is the first time anyone has ever been to an Ikea. It looks like there is a sea of blue bags. The Swedish furniture giant has just opened here in Oxford Street and we can't get enough of it. It feels like a fun fair.
I'm local, so I can come anytime I want. I live in Holloway, so I'm a local lady.
Are you happy that Oxford Circus is open?
Of course.
Why did you come here today? It's super hot and sunny outside.
Because I couldn't do it yesterday.
Why do you like Ikea?
Because it's nice stuff, it's affordable price, everything is organized nicely. So I mean, for me, when I'm coming, like I say, I need this.
My name's Adam, I'm from London. We took the afternoon off from work to come here today. I've been speaking about it to friends for genuinely weeks and months, saying, when it opens, going.
What's on the list?
That's not the point. There's never anything on the list. That's why I've got an empty bag. And I did say to colleagues I was coming in, they said, you're going to buy loads of stuff. And I was like, no, I've got nothing to buy. They were like, no, you're going to buy loads of stuff.
This project was a year and a half behind schedule. The building itself cost £378 million before renovation, IKEA's biggest investment by far in a single shop. So there was relief when a queue of 400 people formed when the doors opened. Peter Jeckelby is IKEA's retail manager for the UK and Ireland.
You never know. You really don't know. You of course, you guesstimate things, right? But I would say overall, no. Beyond expectation, emotionally as well included. Open a store like this means a lot for everyone involved, particularly if you work quite hard to make it happen.
Trying to marshal the queues for the meatballs is Matt Gould, IKEA man and boy. At 27 years old, he's the company's youngest store manager and a shining, energetic example of why we should all want a career in retail. My goodness, Matt, how are you?
I think it's been an absolute incredible first 24 hours. Tired, of course, but running on full energy still today. Well, we saw yesterday, actually, quite an incredible turnout. Actually, the 3rd highest visited IKEA store in Europe was yesterday. I think it was an absolute incredible, crazy day. The highlight was meatballs, was food. That's what everybody was dying for.
Is it really? Honestly?
Genuinely, all the first questions we were getting, have you got meatballs, hot dogs and chips?
But of course, if you spend less than £1, euro or dollar on something to eat, you'll no doubt feel flush enough to buy something for your home.
So don't let that doily just go and spoil everything.
Chuck out that tin!
Yes, chuck out that tin!
Let's chuck out that tins today!
When the world's biggest furniture store first opened in the United Kingdom in 1987, a revolution happened to our houses. Before IKEA, British households decorated their rooms with family heirlooms. Our living rooms looked like our mother's living rooms, and her mother's living room before that.
Chuck out that chintz, come on, do it today. Rise off that pelmet and throw it away. Those sofas are girly, too silly, too twirly. That flowery bed, it just does you no credit.
The British, who love a bargain, gleefully welcomed this irresistible blend of value and style, demonstrated perfectly here in an excerpt from the BBC radio comedy, I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue.
In this round, I'd like you to come up with phrases that might be suitable to use both in the bedroom and when buying or assembling things from IKEA.
If there's no screwing involved, I can't see how it's going to stay up.
To To buy anything, you had to head to what IKEA staff fondly call the big blue box. But shopping habits changed. IKEA had to make the central London site work. To do this, 2 big design problems had to be solved. First, how to make a traditional high street space look and feel like an IKEA. And secondly, how to make what was on offer work for fast-moving Londoners in tiny flats. First was a scaling down of the store, as Matt explains.
We're talking about 5,300 square metres we're working with.
What were the priorities in terms of the way you design the layouts? Because the spaces that we're looking at don't look much bigger than the average London room. Is that a principle that you've adhered to?
It is. In essence, it is. We still have, of course, some larger room sets as well, but as a majority, we are trying to work with the reality of our Londoners here.
And in terms of feeling like an IKEA, they'd learned some lessons from their first foray here in the UK into inner city stores with a branch in Hammersmith.
We went with what we called free flow, so we allowed customers to navigate however they wanted. And of course, people in IKEA actually like to be told where to go. The learning we took here into Oxford Street was that customers want arrows, they want to be steered where to go, they want to go through the areas of the home. What we've now put back into the stores is what we call our one-way flow system.
The adverts on the tube are very much of people being able to carry things away. I mean, this feels like a very different IKEA. Looks the same, but it's not remotely the same.
You'll see snippets of actually real London homes. So what we mean by that is that there will be, where we've got the window displays, as you pull the blind up, there'll be a shot of actually a London Victorian house in the background.
Much of what's on sale here can fit into one of IKEA's blue bags. Expect to see tea lights and duvet sets on the tube. Anything bigger has to be delivered, either to your home or a drop-off point in the capital. And IKEA is also having to rethink its designs to cater for London living.
People move so many more times now, so the range that we're now starting to design, the new range that comes in, we will have a new Pax wardrobe that will come very soon, that will be much more easier to dismantle actually, and then reassemble.
Wallets are thinner these days, and our tiny flats are crammed with too much stuff. How does Peter Yeckelby then reconcile this with sales targets?
Today also consumers are becoming more wary how to live a sustainable life, that we are smart with that to save money, to save energy.
You talk about sustainability, but this is the great paradox that no one has ever quite been able to resolve with IKEA. That you talk an awful lot about sustainability, you use sustainable produce, you have ambition to be net zero faster than practically anybody else on this earth. But at the heart of your business model is selling things that sometimes we don't need.
I would say all our products has a purpose and a function. Then you might not need it at that particular time or whatever. But to answer your question, in the long run, we know that when it comes to selling at volumes, we know that all the materials we are bringing into our products needs to be recyclable or sustainably produced. And I think this thing about selling to you means that you should be able to recycle it. We should have been produced it in a sustainable way. We should maybe even to be able to take it back as we do, reshop, reuse. So I think that's a circularity for us, and it is something we will crack.
This place is a mess. Disgusting. No, you don't deserve no gas.
While other companies fret about going online and the flood of cheap imports from China, Oxford Circus is the first of a bigger expansion into high streets for IKEA. At least they are betting on town centres and the people who live in them. And for summer 2025, meanwhile, London's It bag is big and blue with yellow handles. For Monocle, in London, I'm Emma Nelson.
Silence the critics. Ikea, the wonderful everyday.
Fresh and clean.
That's all for this week. If you're eager for more design stories, then listen to our main programme, Monocle on Design, airing on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. London time. Or if you prefer print, you can pick up a copy of Monocle magazine, available on all good newsstands. Today's episode was produced by me, Maylee Evans, with editing help from Hunter Wang. Thank you very much for listening.